good sign for Democrats nationwide and in every other kind of way. But I was thinking more I think Congress or not the Senate, but the House voted down the tariffs against Canada, maybe. And they were like, good, they're voted down. It's like, well, now it goes to the Senate, and then it goes to the president. I wonder what he thinks about it. Oh, are you going to get 2/3 majority against this? No? Well, let's see if Donald Trump wants to.
They sent a message, Kyle.
He's watching Fox News. He ain't getting that message. You think he's on C-SPAN?
I'm teasing. I don't think anyone's getting that message.
He said he watches 8 hours of TV a day and drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day.
I believe
that's
him.
A hero. That's a hero.
First time he's told the truth.
That's like that is the most boomer lifestyle I can imagine. Is like cable news, just constant propaganda slop from cable, and then just enough aspartame to kill a horse. Although that's an impossible number because there's nothing wrong with it at all.
I don't like the lies. Like even lying me into a good decision, I still feel bad about it. Heck, the fucking yesterday, right? He goes up there with the chart, says these are the tariffs they're putting on us. These are the reciprocal tariffs we're putting on them. All the tariffs on us are lies. None of that was true. Every fucking number in that column was untrue. Not a single one was accurate. And I'm like, why are you lying us into trade wars? Is this fucking Trump W? Like, you're just lying us into a trade war? Fucking cunt.
So he exaggerated how much we were being tariffed.
What he did.
I screenshotted it so I would have it exactly if I may. This guy says I just figured out where these fake tariff rates came from. They didn't actually calculate tariff rates plus non-tariff barriers as they said they did. Instead, for each country, they just took our trade deficit with that country and divided it by the country's exports to us. So we have 17.9 billion trade deficit with Indonesia. Its exports to us are 28 billion. So 17.9 billion divided by $28 equals 64%. Which Trump claims is the tariff rate Indonesia charges us. What extraordinary nonsense this
That's
is.
My kind of math. You just nice and easy.
I don't like being lied to. And it shocks to me how like these MAGA guys are on their knees in front of Trump with their tongue out saying, lie to me, daddy, lie to me, daddy. I'll slurp it down. I'm like, why do you like being lied to so much? He thinks you're a fucking lie. Slurping them out of his cock. Like, why do you think this is so ridiculous?
You gotta sell that t-shirt.
Give me all your dishonest commies.
He thinks you're fucking lying. And he drops it on your tongue, your waiting tongue, as you lit it there with your red hat on.
Damn,
I don't know why
pretty
people like it so much. And like Kyle said, Vietnam, he said the tariff rate was 90%. And I was like, damn, 90%? That's a big tariff. Not true. It just turns out we buy a bunch of textiles from Vietnam and they don't buy much from us because they're poor. And
because they can't afford it.
Because they can't afford fucking American routers or cars or Teslas or whatever we're making. So he's like, well, 90% of the trade imbalance is 90, it's 9-1. So we're gonna put half that, 45% in tariffs. And it's like he lied us into a trade war. And the MAGA, they're just on their knees slurping it down. And I don't know why so many people are so happy to be lied to.
Are you hopeful that it will return manufacturing and production and jobs?
Way. And I'll tell you why. It's because if you're an investor, right? If you put your investor hat on, then you need stability to make this decision. If you're like, you know what? I think that we can replace the humans in textile manufacturing, clothing, and do this with robots and make price competitive t-shirts with Vietnam now that they have a 45% tariff on them. No way would you build that facility. Donald Trump changes what the tariff rates are literally hour by hour. His rationale for what the tariffs are, Canada especially, changes literally hour by hour. I have heard him say it's fentanyl many times. I've heard him say that it's their tariffs many times. I've heard them say it's their food safety standards is the reason that he's tariffing them. I've heard him say that there's like immigrants. He makes up shit all the time. Would you invest $500 million in a textile manufacturing plant hoping that this stuff is permanent and trustworthy and that you can use it in your business plans?
No, that's
what's important.
Then you're not bringing manufacturing back here.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
That's not the goal either.
I agree with you on the Like that's that's kind of what's causing the stock market fluctuation, is like the instability, the uncertainty is like, if he just would have said 10% across the board to keep it like easy numbers, there wouldn't have been as much uncertainty and fluctuation. It is, and I do dislike this, the like fly by night changes all the time, because you can't make accurate decisions based on that. What it should be is just like a set number that's baked into the cake of our economy. Like, this is what it is moving forward. And this way people can make accurate assessments based on what it is. And the goal of tariffs is to bring back more production and manufacturing. And so if it was a set number, it would be more likely to do that. Kyle, you are muted.
He wants to renegotiate the tariffs that they have on our goods. That's what this is about. He doesn't expect this to be the new norm, because it won't work. It just won't work. It's just clearly to put those countries in a hard spot that we can afford to be in, but they cannot. And it's to say to them, do you want to completely remap your economy? Because we're fine without you, Indonesia, but you won't be fine without us. So give us a good deal. And that'll be the new deal going forward. I think that's what's happening. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. But the hope would be, as far as bringing in manufacturing back, is that maybe after negotiations have happened and they've agreed to something, then maybe they would. But I don't think that textiles is in America's future. I don't think that we're going to be the big textile maker of the 21st century. Everything's robots now. I saw a robot that roofs houses the other day.
Do they do robots for clothes? I talked to my mom about this, who's a subject matter expert on sewing, but not robots, and said that something about fabric is particularly hard to get right. You kind of need humans to hold it together. But I don't know. Maybe she's out of date.
I would be shocked if
do it.
I would think shirts there's not even a human hand laid on, like, in the process. If I would guess. It depends on what kind of shirt, but I'm just thinking like a plain white t-shirt, like a Hanes t-shirt. I bet there ain't no people in there doing anything if it's made in the Western world.
Oh, I was like, I really thought it was the cheap labor that was the whole foundation of the textile
I bet.
industry.
I bet there's probably some poor fucking Indonesian kid working a giant auto loom or something, some machinery that'll suck.
Labor laws are a big reason we can't compete in a lot of. And this isn't me saying we need to get rid of labor laws. It's good that we don't let fucking 11-year-olds into coal mines, but like.
You're 11-year-olds we can, Taylor.
They yearn for the mines. The children, there's just no way to be like, hey, we're going to make American steel. Oh, we can't really do that because China has a bunch of people with like Saw 4 style explosive collars on them who get blown up if they don't, fill their mine cart with enough stuff by the end of the day. And so in that situation, you need to tariff it.
Do you know why? Recovering steel from World War II battleships has become so popular and cost effective as far as getting that
new steel.
Do you know why they want that old steel?
Is it like a Roman concrete thing where like now we're not doing it as good?
It's not a Roman concrete thing where now we're not able to. It's not that.
Okay. Is it something? So the steel is not better than what we have now?
Tell us.
It has a feature that is better. So before World War II, before the nuclear testing that happened for decades thereafter, all the steel now is radioactive. So if you need to make a piece of machinery that tests for, say, radioactivity, and all the metal that you have to work with to create it is a little radioactive, it's a problem, especially if you're trying to measure some minute amount of radioactivity for some sort of sciencey shit. So they get that World War II battleship steel up, and it doesn't have any radiation in it because it was made before there was any any nuclear weapons.
How many ships could there possibly be?
Tons. The Chinese are getting in a lot of trouble because they're stealing other people's ships, and they're full of dead bodies. So they'll go down and they'll get like some Australian battleship. Yeah, they'll go down and like salvage.
And then they're selling them at wet markets. The bodies.
Fucking pickled Australian livers.
Yeah.
Oh, you make your cock so hard.
Don't you tell us to stop. We've been doing this for thousands of years. No, I don't think so.
We make you masculine, like American GI in World War II.
I did real quick before that. I did want to say that it was on the tariff thing. It's crazy because Japan, South Korea, and China are jointly responding to the U.S. tariffs together, and it's like, damn, it's crazy. You united Asia
Yeah,
And like, you know,
China,
that's how he's
Japan and Korea,
and South Korea.
These places are not friends.
No, they're not. And so like it's funny because like, you know, like Trump, I feel like is the type of guy to be like, yeah, I brought them together, part of the plan.
Part of the plan.
I did that.
No, I've been saying that for a while. I don't believe it. Okay, I don't believe it. But a genius, a genius from the comic books, like an Ozymandias, this is the sort of move that he makes to like drive the disjointed planet together. You know, you need something for everybody to hate.
Is this Watchmen?
Spaghetti? Yeah, spaghetti monster. You need a spaghetti monster.
You need a spaghetti monster for everybody to hate, and then all of a sudden, the communists and the capitalists, the Jews and the Arabs, they can all get along if we're dealing with this other existential threat. And so he just became
lasting. Yeah.
So perhaps he's becoming the existential threat. Well, you know, little piece is good.
I
don't know what's going to happen. It's awful scary, but it's also fun to watch. You know, the news used to be boring. You always knew.
I think it's pretty cool to lose about $30,000 to $90,000 a day. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, sorry about that. I forgot the $2 trillion loss of yesterday.
It's
hits
been
everybody
a blast.
differently. Well, that's coming back.
That'll come back.
There was this guy.
That war with Iran will rocket us back up.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's going to make
that'll make things all better.
Look, I don't know anything, but oil's about to get expensive. I promise you, oil's about to get real expensive.
How did we go from I can make this better on day one to grit your teeth, this is gonna hurt? I'm telling you, he's like, bend over, this is gonna hurt a little bit, America. Like, that's what you voted for? Okay.
I always thought it was gonna be that, because what he was saying was like, we can hold out longer. He's like, I'm gonna hold my breath, and because if I don't breathe, you can't breathe, and we're just hoping we can hold our breath longer because we can.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about the tariff thing. I think most countries are going to fold pretty quickly.
Because we can thing is interesting. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, that Russia is willing to tolerate an incredible amount of discomfort in the name of like national unity. I don't think America is. I don't know a country that tolerates less discomfort than America.
There's only one group of people who goes out in the street, starts fires, and starts burning down neighborhoods when they're socially unhappy. And those people don't mind what's happening right now. You go to black people Twitter and they're like, me right now, and they're just like dancing. Like they've decided that this not my problem. This is y'all's shit. That's what black people decided about this. So they ain't gonna burn nothing down, and we don't burn stuff down. I've never burned anything down. I didn't see any fires even on January 6th. If you think about it, you know, no fires.
That's true.
I mean, if you limit it to fire, yeah, they did. You know, the Capitol fell, but
no gunshot.
But you know, there were no fires, so that's good.